Okay, gonna try to make this quick. I just got a few minutes before I have to, head into work. But it's a little response video, and I think it'll probably be the last time I really feel like, discussing this topic. I don't want to get to the point where I'm like dwelling on it, but want to make a sort of response to, I think it was the latest comment by Three Rhinos. But um, first off, when I say forgiveness, I mean acceptance, and it's something that does not happen overnight. It does take time. Um, and there are things you can do to sort of speed that up by, like I said, working on something in your life to move yourself forward. And maybe that's kind of like just my perspective on things that you can, you know, get more results by doing rather than just talking about how you feel. I know I've definitely had videos where I've talked about how I felt, but um, at the same time in life, I was actually working on things, whether it was my grades, my internship that I had, like getting to graduation, getting my first job out of school, getting this spot, finances, working out, whatever it was. I was trying to do something other than just sitting there and talking about my feelings about stuff. And anybody who's followed me since 2016, 2017, definitely know that, it definitely took me a while. I mean, like a few years to truly process and understand and accept, what had happened, why it happened, the reasons, etc. And so I'm not telling anybody that's overnight. And I hate the expression impossible being used when it's referring to this sort of stuff, because I mean, look, like, I've had the times where I've chosen to wallow in my emotions about, how things I thought were unfair and all that. And I've learned from experience, I've been there, done that. I got this teacher to, show, to prove it, so to speak, that it really doesn't do anything. It just, you just end up basically beating yourself up, getting angry at other people, maybe people who didn't even do anything to you, just kind of carrying that with you, and it doesn't do you any good. It's better, far better, far more effective in my experience to work on something in your life that maybe it just takes your mind off of things, and it creates a sort of distance of time and place and so between what happened and where you are. And like I said, like, you can choose to dwell in your emotions if you so choose, but me, I'm at that point where I'm just going to work on things and try to move myself forward. Beyond that, when you talk about like fairness, and this is sort of like my perspective. I don't know what everybody else has been through in life that caused them pain or trauma. I don't know how bad it's been. I'm sure a lot of folks have been way worse than myself, but in a lot of cases, in retrospect, and this is me having perspective now that I've had some time to really think about things and be sort of out of the trenches or out of the kitchen or whatever you want to call it, out of the heat. People had reasons to be angry at me. Okay. Sometimes if I wasn't doing my job, or I wasn't doing to the best of my ability, or whatever the case may have been, or maybe it was that disgruntled woman who was angry at me for rejecting her because I already had a girlfriend, etc., etc. And that maybe have been the first rejection she'd ever dealt with in her life. I don't know. But, people had their reasons. And my issue was also like the vindictiveness and the extent that they went to try and get back at me. Whether it was like talking about me behind my back to the extent that folks became hostile to me, and it became like an even more difficult process or journey to get my degree, because folks were just kind of like throwing up road stops and roadblocks in my way, and just getting hostile with me because they were friends with that girl and they were doing that to stick up for her, and it was like, this isn't your problem. And besides, like, I'm sure she's probably exaggerated things to, make me seem like I'm just still a scumbag or whatever. That, and then, like, the other case where it was a guy and then his girlfriend, who later on tried to get a job at the place I was working at, was trying to use me as a connection. I mean, the vindictiveness of going and trying to essentially get me, like, prevented from graduation, making things so difficult and hard, or threatening to, like, I don't know, go to the authorities and file a complaint saying that I was like, somehow, like, that I didn't deserve to graduate or some garbage like that. But anyways, I mean, it's a lot of his perspective. A lot of it takes some time to get to the point where you can look at things in a, clear-minded sense. But that's my take on that. I understand a lot of folks have been through bad things, and, they got their pain, they got their trauma, and they have to sort of work through it. And it does take time. It's not an overnight thing. And a lot of it is just by getting to that point of, being at peace with things and accepting and understanding stuff. And you can use Nofap to get to that point, but, also probably should be working on other stuff to not just pass the time, but actually create progress in your life. But anyways, I need to head in. I think it's about 7 a.m. right now, so I'll see you folks around. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. I hope this video helps somebody out there. I'll see you folks around. Bye-bye.